Oh, welcome in everyone to another Wednesday edition of Thursday Night Football. That's right. We have Thursday Night Football once again headed our way tomorrow. Thank you for subscribing, all of our new subscribers. Guys, we are at 105 at Fantasy Farm Sports. I welcome and thank every single last one of you. All the subscribers are awesome, and we're collecting more. Our goal is to get to 1,000. We're over 100 now, so we're we're not halfway there, but we're gathering them by the day. This Thursday night, we have two completely different teams, and I just want to, what I want to do is I want to do an exercise, right? So I don't want to mention who's playing. Maybe you guys have already seen who's playing, but what I'd like to do is just mention some adjectives, and you decide what kind of team you would like to watch on your television. What type of team would you like to root for? Who would you buy merchandise as the fan for? Which team would you tell somebody that you love? Go to war for, go to bat for, argue for? Would you go to bat for a team that was militant, tough, leadership, unwavering confidence? It's pretty easy to love a team like that, right? Even if when times are tough, they're militant, they're doing the same kind of work, unwavering confidence, believe in their brand, believe in their product. Hardworking always pushes through. And you have other brands out there, right? And sometimes the brands are dishonest. They take shortcuts and they've got no direction. They're looking around for help. They can't quite find it. They don't know where to turn. They want short, quick answers. They want to cheat on the test. They don't want to study the answers. When times get tough, they don't want to hear about it. They'll just, put a little duct tape on it, hope the engine keeps working. That's the tale of our two teams tonight. We've got the 8-2 Pittsburgh, tough, militant, leadership, unwavering confidence Steelers against the Cleveland, dishonest, shortcut, no direction Browns. I mean, that's what it is at this point, right? That's what it is. Pittsburgh brought in certain players that were going to groove with what they put in front of them. Right? Mike Tomlin does not mess around. He is I know we love Dan Campbell, but Mike Tomlin's the coach of the year. It's not even close. He brings in two different quarterbacks, gives them two different timelines. Justin Fields starts the season. When reporters asked Tomlin about when they'll see Russell Wilson, he said, "You'll see him when he's healthy." I'm not answering any more of those type of questions any longer. Well, that pretty much answers it, doesn't it? And that's how Mike Tomlin is with his players. Why am I not on the field? I'm sure you get a straight answer. You get great leadership, militant, tough, but he's honest with you. I've made no bones about it. I'm not a Cleveland Browns fan. I think they're dishonest. That's the worst thing you could be, right? The worst thing that you can absolutely be in your life is dishonest. Because think about this. Everybody makes mistakes. It's true. We're all just human beings trying to stay on the spinning globe and do our best every day. But if you're dishonest about your mistakes, you're untrustworthy. Nobody believes in you. You can't get people to follow you. There is no confidence, no toughness. You want out. You don't know how. You signed a contract in Cleveland. You can't get out. Well, they had a real tough-nosed kid there by the name of Baker Mayfield. And he had growing pains. And instead of having the quick fix, and no, he was going to be the savior of the franchise. When they hit a couple bumps in the road with him, they kicked him aside and went for quick fixes. That's your Cleveland Browns. They're jokes. They're 2-8. They're the worst team in the division, with an untrustworthy, dishonest Deshaun Watson still in the building. Kevin Stefanski's an awful coach. Dishonest human being. And I say that because there were reports when Mayfield was there from pretty good reporters that Stefanski told Baker that he was going to meet with him. And instead of meeting with him, did not show up to the meeting, met with other players, never canceled the meeting, never let Baker know that he wasn't going to be at the meeting, anything. If you're not going to be there for a player or you're going to miss a meeting, it's fine. Just let them know. Get everybody on the same page. If you can't get on the same page with meetings, well, then how's this thing going to run? How is this thing going to run? This is a 3.5 point spread that opened at 3. That's what we know about this game. That's what with the Cleveland's at home, by the way. Cleveland is at home, and they are getting points at home. That's how good the Cleveland Browns are. The Cleveland Browns are getting 3.5 points at home. Before I get to my picks, I do want to mention gridironmancave.com. Fantastic product. They make helmets for us. Here's a great example of one of them. Look at that, Fantasy Farm Sports. Go on to gridironmancave.com. Get yourself one. Get yourself one, because each one of the subscribers, each one of you guys, if you email me on one of these videos, right, and they go, hey, I got a take. Come on. You can come on the show. I'm all right with it. We'll have a talk back and forth. Share it to your friends. That's how we're going to grow as an enterprise. And when you do, right, when you do hit these picks that I promised to give you, you won't hit all of them, but you'll hit a good portion of them. You'll take that money over to Gridiron Man Cave, get yourself a helmet, let everybody know that you're a part of something. It's not just you're following something or watching ESPN. Show everybody that you're a part of something. You'll be a part of Fantasy Farm Sports. It's very important that everyone comes along. Speaking of hits, we hit on a couple games last week. We hit on Zach Ertz over 3.5 receptions. Not too shabby for the old guy. We gave you the Eagles. I know that the Washington Commanders are getting better. Ain't there yet. Real close. Great ball club. Excellent future. Was not their spot. Gridiron Man Cave, I'll tell you what, I can't wait to get more stuff off them. Fantastic product. Now, I think that the Browns put up a little bit of a fight at home. It's not going to be much of a fight. It's going to look a lot like what Dallas did on Monday night against the Texans. You'll get a game for what? A quarter and a half, and then you're going to see a team quit. Or you're going to see a coach make a ridiculous call like McCarthy did. Instead of taking the field goal when you're down 20-10, why don't you kick the field goal? See, you take the field goal. You don't go on 4th and 2 with a backup quarterback that's not playing well. I know Cooper Rush hit some balls, but he didn't look great. You give the defense something to believe in. Harmony and faith as a football team. It's not just an offensive team. You got to give somebody on the opposite side something to fight for, something to believe in. That's what McCarthy's very poor at. Stefanski's no better. I expect some of the same mistakes. I think this game looks a lot like the Dallas and Houston game. Dallas was at home, fought for a quarter and a half, and then that was it. We'll be in bed very early on a Thursday night. And you know, I get it. Pittsburgh's had a couple tough games in a row. They have. It's true. But Tomlin gets these guys fired up, ready to go. Don't embarrass yourself. It's Thursday night. There are no letdowns. The whole world's watching. Go for the knockout. This is Cleveland. This isn't good. Barring any weather, and there doesn't look like there's going to be, there's no way Cleveland could keep up with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's got unwavering confidence, excellent leadership, and they don't take shortcuts like the Cleveland Clowns. God, Jamar Chase, how could he be afraid of a bunch of elves? That's right, Jamar. How could you? There's no fear. Cleveland's not good enough. They're not good enough. They took shortcuts, and when you take shortcuts in life, you lose. Cleveland's a great example. They could have stuck with the things that they had. Some things were working, not all things. All right, a couple player props I like. I do like our Nick Chubb. I know I rag on Cleveland, but Nick Chubb is a class act. He's a fantastic player. And when he's healthy, he's one of the best running backs in the league. Last week, he came back, ran for, I think he had 11 rushes, 40-ish yards. He had a nice game. They didn't try to run the wheels off him. I like Nick Chubb in this game against the Steelers, coming back against the team that gave him that horrendous knee injury. I can see the offensive line for the Browns fighting for Nick Chubb to get some positive yards. I like Nick Chubb 51.5. I like the over on the yards. It's minus 115, costs you a little bit of money, but I do believe that line will fight to beat down and push down Pittsburgh's defense and give their Nick Chubb something to run for, something to look forward to. Fans, you'll have fun watching Nick Chubb run tomorrow night. I love the over 51.5. I love revenge games. Players don't play for money. They play to talk, and I think Nick Chubb gets over 51.5 yards. Now, I also like Jameis Winston. Not the player, the stats. Right? Jameis Winston's a nice character, I guess. Right? He's a nice character. He's a nice fella. He's not a jerk to me. I haven't gotten any hate mail, but he always finds garbage time passing yards. I mean, they lost last week. He threw for 1,000,000 yards and 1 touchdown. I think it was like 395 yards and a touchdown. Jameis Winston is out there slinging it. That's all he does. And I understand that Pittsburgh has a great defense. They'll probably blitz him, but it's not going to matter. He will take chances. He will throw interceptions. He'll throw touchdowns. He doesn't really care what you think. He's Jameis Winston. His over-under set at 216.5. I mean, Jameis Winston, if all he does is throw it, I know he'll find Nick Chubb some yards. Our Jameis finds Nick Chubb some yards, but, I mean, when the going gets late in the game, he can't hand it off. He can't. He doesn't know how to do it. Jameis Winston is just going to be out there slinging the rock at the end of the game when Cleveland's losing. I like his yardage. Over 216.5 yards, minus 115. I think it's a good bet. I like Jameis Winston to go over. And your trifecta of Browns. I kind of like Jerry Jeudy right now. This is where the line stands. I like Jerry Jeudy over 3.5 receptions. And the reason why is because I don't believe David Njoku is going to be healthy enough. Maybe they use him as a decoy. Maybe he suits up. But he's not going to have the game he had last week. I'm very sorry. I'm a David Njoku owner, and it's not going to work. He's not going to put up the same stats. Pittsburgh will be looking at tape. It's not going to go to Njoku. So the ball's got to go somewhere because Watson's going to throw it. That's the end of the story. Somebody's going to have to put their hands out there. And my belief would be over 3.5 receptions for Jerry Jeudy. I think you can have fun with that. It's also set at minus 115. I wouldn't say book it, but I do believe that Jerry Jeudy, because of the fact you're not going to find Njoku as much on the field, I think Jeudy, and you might be waiting around all game, but I do believe Jeudy gets over 3.5 receptions. If you want to party, if you're having a great time on Thursday night, right? Chilling with your friends, having a few beverages, right? You're feeling frisky. What I would do, my feeling frisky pick is George Pickens, anytime touchdown. It's plus 200. Look, the lights are bright, and George is wild. I mean, when George Pickens goes off, it's usually not for 1 touchdown. It's usually for a couple. And his numbers against the Browns are insane. It's the team he goes off the most against. He picks up amazing yards. And I don't know what it is. He hates their colors. Maybe they date him back to college. I don't know. But when George plays the Browns, my God, does he go off. George Pickens, anytime touchdown, is plus 200. Plus 200. That's a great bet. Lay down a couple bucks on that one and bet the Steelers. because I think the Steelers on the money line is safe. It's minus 190. We like that. I don't know why it's so close. That's my only concern. My concern here is that Cleveland shows up for their Super Bowl game, because that's what this is. This is the Cleveland Browns Super Bowl matchup. They'll never be in a Super Bowl because they're a dishonest, shortcut, no direction team. But I do believe that Cleveland's going to fight a little bit here. You're going to be sweating, but Tomlin doesn't mess around. And at the end of the day, hard work, great leadership, and unwavering confidence always prevails over shortcuts on the gridiron and in life. Guys, my name is Jack Stache from Fantasy Farm Sports. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, because tomorrow is Thursday Night Football. Bets go in and we ride. See you guys later.